let's talk about some friendship breakups. Jazlyn, why don't we start with you?
Right. So as I mentioned, when you make friends with more people, you will definitely also experience like losing your friendships, right? So for me, I think I have one, but it was more of a moral value difference. So I didn't agree with what they were kind of doing. Like it didn't resonate in me, to simplify it.
Of course.
So I mean, I feel kind of bad, but it's more of like, because of that, then I don't talk much to them. And then I try to make it as natural as possible to drift. Yeah, because I feel like what I didn't resonate with, right, is very, like, different people have different approach and they have different opinions in it. So some people will be like, oh, it's like, why you choose to ghost, right? Like you could have talked it out. But I think for me, I'm just, at this point in time, my priorities are a little bit different. And like I said, I also believe like if we are meant to be friends, we would somehow like come back together again.
Yeah.
Because that was what happened in secondary school as well.
I guess for me, it's that the reason of that friendship broke apart was because it was simply said, it's just trust, I guess, trust in friendship, where they didn't trust me enough to, uphold our friendship. But then I was having lots of commitments, so I was struggling with a lot of all the each different commitments, and I didn't have much time to prioritize them, and they just felt that, why are you so close with like other people and not us? And it's just, I felt that I wasn't being trusted, and I tried to keep it together. I explain myself like for like multiple hours, but now I think about it, it's like, for what? Like, for what? Because in the end, it just didn't work. Even I tried so hard to like keep it together, they still didn't trust me. And I was like, you know what? It's okay. You can go. Like, what's the point of holding it together if they don't even have the simple basic trust for friendship, If you don't trust your friend,
I don't know. It feels like if they're actually your true friend, you have understood you, and in a way, you cannot always be with that same friend, right? Like you're getting married to them.
Yeah, I think in friendships, it's very important to acknowledge boundaries. Yeah. So my story is related to those boundaries.
Oh, okay. I hear some kind of tea.
Yeah. So I had a friend, let's call him X. Right? So friend X was going to meet friend Y along with a person that Y liked. We call him Z.
Okay.
So Z was visiting from out of country.
Okay.
And that night, Z wanted a drink.
Okay.
Okay, but X had previous issues with spicy grapefruit juice.
okay.
So X wanted to cut down and not have any anymore. However, because Z was interested in drinking, Y kept pressuring X the whole night with an exact quote being, if I keep a bottle in front of you right now, you will drink. I just need to bring one. You're just being like this now because there's no bottle.
Toxic. Literally for your liver.
So that was the inciting event for X to reevaluate how they viewed their relationship with Y. Because that was something that was important to them. Being who they were before and the issues that they may have had with it shouldn't be something that's used against them. Especially for trying to get with someone they like.
That's a no.
Yeah. So X felt very hurt by using their past issues as a way to mingle with this person coming from out of country.
That's not the way to go. Please don't do that. Okay, please.
So yeah, I think. Wait, so do you have any personal experience with losing friends?
For me, thankfully, it's more so about drifting apart here and there. So people from primary school or middle school who we haven't kept in touch, naturally going apart, but no clear betrayals of trust or stabs in the backs. So far.
Wait, so for the same one, like stepping back. How, like, is it more devastating than a regular breakup? Do you feel?
A friendship, definitely. Because it's really those friends that you trust and you hold very close to. And I feel like definitely more than I'll ever feel for a partner. But then, you see them so much, you tell them so much, even about your partner, you might they know like some teas about them.
Some tea.
Yeah. So like when you have issues, you know, or in school or like in life, there are someone you will can like you can just talk to them like, hey, I'm not feeling that well. And they're like, oh, what happened? What happened? It's these kind of friends who have gone through so much with you. But in the end, it turns out to be so sour. So definitely I feel it's very devastating.
I feel like, yeah. Maybe in your case, it was because they texted me. So it was a bit more like, I feel like in terms of drifting away, I don't, okay lah, personally, I feel like if drift away, then it's okay. It's not as painful. I mean, I don't know about
you see it as a progression of time rather than the strength of a friendship. I think with something with betrayal or with reaching those boundaries, you feel like you don't know that person anymore.
Yeah, that's
Like-
very true.
Like the person you spent all that time with, all those things you told was just a facade, a lie.
So sad. Wait, so in your case, right, do you think there is an acceptable way to break off a friendship?
I guess in my way, it's after trying so hard to make up, keep the friendship together. At least they could tell me that, oh, sorry, like I think it's not working. I feel like having the honesty to tell you and the guts to tell you, like it's better than leaving you just thinking like, where am I? Are we still friends? If I text you, they're not gonna reply me. Then feel damn good. Yeah, Atulya, what do you feel?
I think I guess it depends on how or why that friendship is dissolving. I think for something where you morally very much disagree with, you might go outright and say that I don't want to continue talking as much because of the things you did. But sometimes maybe it's just a little bit easier to just quietly just pull away and drift away. Yeah.
Like Casper.
I think for me, I think I used to value like a proper, like a yes or no thing, like will we still be friends and whatnot. But I think throughout the years as you grow and maybe a little bit more tired of like studying and like life, I think your priorities would be a bit different, right? And then you would know, like you have that maturity to think it through, whether it's like a waste of your time and effort to be worrying about all this or not. Yeah. So I think for different situations, different ways of looking at friendship.
Yeah.
is okay.
And as compared to like when we are younger, we can't just simply like 7-8 hours of school. We just meet them consistently because we're in the same class or like same level. I can just go to your class and like, oh, let's hang out during recess for lunch or this kind of thing. It's really different back then. Like as you proceed on in uni, it's quite hard. It's really quite hard to stick together to 24/7.
Like Atulya said just now, like honestly, those friendships, right, tested by like commitments and schedules, it really like boils down to like how you keep that friendship important. Like you can just send news. It just lets them like it reminds them like, oh, I'm still thinking of you. Right? And like you're still important to me. That kind of thing. And it doesn't have to be like you have to meet all the time too.
Definitely. Even something small like sending a Happy New Year's message or during festivals, things like that. It's I think the small things that count.
That's the funny thing. You send them Happy New Year. Let's meet soon. Yeah, let's meet soon. Let's say it never happens.
Next year's Happy New Year.
Next year.
Next year just say in the chat, next Happy New Year.
Let's meet soon. But if you remember their birthday, drop them a text. Okay.
Now we just move on to sharing about stories from followers that we put up on Instagram as a poll. Let me just grab this. Time for some tea session, guys.
Okay.
Hey, so so recently we held a poll asking followers to share their friendship tea on Instagram. So the first submission that we have says this follower had a friend that straight up ghosted and was given the cold shoulder by her best friend. And her best friend then told her that she was ticked off by her but did not explain what had happened.
Damn, Casper again.
Casper,
Cold shoulder, Casper.
have y'all like experienced it before?
Best friend though.
Best friend, not in university, but while I was in high school, so JC equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of my best friends. Yeah, just gone. Like, pretty
Casper.
much, yeah,
Just Casper.
yeah, just like no indication.
Okay.
Damn. What? For me, best friend, I don't think so. But I think like just normal occasional friends, yes. Like the situation that we shared previously, as lives goes by, you just slowly drift apart from each other's life, and that's why the cold shoulder a bit. Sometimes you text them, they don't reply you, and you just get fed up at a certain point. I think that's the max for me.
I think
Yeah.
for me, if you talk about like last time in JC, yeah, honestly, I didn't expect drama to happen. But like, so what happened was, right, this girl, she fought with her best friend, but she introduced her best friend to us. Right, so her best friend became closer to us because we stayed around the same area. And we go home like together. Yeah, together lah. That's fine. And then when she fought with her best friend, she expected all of us to like break up with her best friend. So it became like why are you still talking to her when I'm like, I'm having
You
a
should
fight
back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was a tricky situation now, honestly, because I heard stories of her best friend treating other people the same as well. But at the same time, I haven't experienced it yet. So I give her the benefit of doubt. And it wasn't just me, I was another girl also that we were still in contact with her best friend. So I think in a way, after a while, that girl felt like we were shit talking about her and like backstabbing her. And then she went on to rant about us on her private account, saying that they're probably like talking shit about me and like spreading rumors about me.
Wow.
And we were all like,
Damn. Like hello?
You remove us as a follower and then you talk about us like when we didn't even do it. Yeah, so I think it was just like a whole saga of like, okay, she like had us removed from her private account, and then she talked shit about us, saying that we talked shit about her. we were just like fired up. I guess I just wasn't expecting that drama at that age. But it happened. We were in the same class. It was kind of awkward, and we were in the same clique. So like that clique, there were two other girls that they had to pick sides as well. So it was a lot of like
Always the side picking.
yeah. But I guess it happened. And honestly, I at this point of time, maybe at that point of time when I was younger, I had the energy to be like, okay lah, this girl talk shit about me lah. Whoa. Now it's just like, you want to talk shit about me? Sure, go ahead. I'm just like, you do what you want. You're at your own league and I'm in mine, so.
No more that energy. And we don't condone any sort of fighting. Please don't like.
No, I didn't. No physical. It's just it's just that that look and like that ignoring each other.
I walk past you, I'll just hello.
Yeah, so I think I don't know, when you all hear this story, if you were in that follower's shoe, what would you do?
I mean, yeah, to some extent I try to reach out to that best friend, try to understand why exactly, but if they have no inclination, because as the person said in the story, they just wouldn't tell what happened. There's only so much you can do. You can go knock at a person's heart, but you can't get them to open up.
That's right.
So at a certain point, you have to choose to focus on yourself. You just have to know, you did your best. You did what you felt was right. If they're that unwilling, at a certain point, you just have to move on and make the best of the situation that you can.
I mean, I agree also. If it's a best friend, it's very devastating, but what can you really do in this situation? Other than, if you try hard to like reach out to them, but they still give you that cold shoulder, then let that be it, man. Just let that be it.
So is this situation a bit like?
I would say not like the leaving itself, but the no explanation. Because they may have a valid reason to not keep in contact. We don't know that, but I'd say the red flag is just the sheer unwillingness, given that they say they're best friends or someone they would have been close with.
Yeah. Perhaps if both of them already talked out and decided like giving a cold shoulder is like the best option, then I think that'd be it. Choose the cold shoulder. Red flag.
Well, for me, I feel like,
What would you do?
what would I do? I don't know. I think it would be like beige, I think. Either way, I mean, personal reason, okay lah, just let it go now.
That one time, she celebrated her friend's birthday in my room while I was sleeping. waking me up when I have a 9:30 lab the next day.
I will just block the candle myself. Okay,
Everybody, okay, done.
I just have to know when they have an early morning class. I'm just celebrating the world. I'm celebrating life itself. That's why I have all my friends.
Oh, so they have a room for themselves. Then they used her bed also.
What?
Whoa!
Yeah,
wow.
like-
Whoa, what?
Like to barbecue?
No,
No, like this.
like-
So, like, did the roommate have no sense of taste, or?
I don't know. We are not invalidating the action.